If you killed everything in here out of spite and hatred, and you were the only race left, would you still preach hate and eat each other alive?
Well, how's this? Good question. Would you, in doing that, where you've killed off everyone and all you are is your own mob, and then over 500 years, let alone 1,000 or 3,000, you splinter into different subsects of yourself. Then would you kill yourself just because the other one liked,
hate in its own reaction, when all it has is hate, it has to create lesser and greater hate of itself, don't it?
Would you like, so, all that's left are, say, for example, Israelis on the whole of Earth. They are truly became the chosen people. So whatever means nuke the world or whatever.
You got the leftovers, you got the thing, it's yours.
And then over
what are you doing with it now?
Well, over the next 1,000 years, like as you then splinter into subset factions of, in your grand glory of who like which Tim Tam, and some like the caramel Tim Tam, some like the dark chocolate, some say the original was always the true source of truth.
The way of the light.
Do you, are you going to start killing Israelis over Tim Tam flavors? Because then...
Not quite the flavor you like.
And I think and if your answer is yes, then, keep going, just keep going, because apparently that's what you are. And the rest of us need to think about what we're going to do with you. Yeah. Because I don't think
we need to get the fuck away from like another planet would be well advised.
That's fucking
because, murderous psycho-cunts end up just ending everything, including themselves.
The rest of us...
Let's be away from it if you get the opportunity.
Like, when you think about like what it did for... Just look at this, what it did for the German psyche for having to do that to people, as an example, for 4 years. Or the Cambodian psyche, or any of them. But they only did it for a short time. It's not like Vietnamese, for example, in the north and the south are hoeing into each other anymore. They're just not, or even the Koreans. They
people do end up getting along with each other when they do the right amount of trade, keep the love going. Yeah.
So, but the scarring on the psyche is still remembered. But when you've done it for like generations now, like a couple generations, not like 3 or 4 years of killing and being cunts, but
well, that's when they call it bred.
Like 50 years of being
bred.
It's really getting sick in the head, real sick in the head. And that's why to wrap up on that point is that Trump in that point is these two have been fighting so long they don't know what the fuck they are doing.
They completely lost the plot. They lost the plot of what they were arguing with in the first place.
We actually should be.
They've got nothing but hate to support their argument, and that doesn't work.
There should be people like flooding into Israel, not into Gaza. There should be like all these people like who are trying to get to Gaza. They should be trying to go to Israel, and what they should be trying to do is hug Israelis and make them feel safe. We will protect you. You don't need to kill them anymore. If they come, we will die. We will be the human shields for the Israelis. Make the Israeli, let them so that they can feel safe and healed.
Throw ourselves at them as your shields to show how much the love lives here.
We don't stop protecting the hate. Stop protecting the Palestinians.
Let us be the shields. Let us be the,
because they're the ones who need fucking saving. They're
get those youngsters over there that have got nothing better to do. So let them be the
hugging
participant.
Looking like every Israeli child could have like an Australian, just protecting them, just standing there always with them. 3 or 4.
Taking the artillery and also the bullets. Collecting them vigorously to help and to show the love. Wave upon wave of lemmings.
Just people just coming in there, just hugging each other, just clogging the streets, not just there, just like offering them
becoming
flowers.
The walls of defence by the piles of their bodies.
To protect, that's it. And then they all go to the wall, all the people from all, and they just yell over the wall at Palestine.
Protected by the meat.
Israelis.
Protected by the meat.
They're scared of you. They're scared. They're so terrified. Please stop hurting the poor Israelis. And then the Palestinians
see all these faithful come in and devote themselves to become the walls of our protection.
And the Israelis are like crying, finally we're being looked after by the little children. We can be safe.
Feel safe, children. That's right.
You could just get a little better, hug them. Maybe they need some MDMA, like microdosing. We just microdose the whole species of the world.
Pumping in the streets, getting everyone healed. You know what I mean? Healing the masses with the techno vibe.
Just like there could be like a particular like strategy developed.
Dancing in the streets.
How to like extract like wanting to kill babies, from the human psyche. No, I should really all babies. No, not just some of the babies. It's okay. You don't have to kill any of the babies. The babies, kill them. I know, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right.
It'll work out. Please.
I killed the babies. I know. There we go. Yes. Admit the truth. That's it. Yes, you killed the babies. They made me kill them. I didn't want to be there. I was only 18. I was 18. I didn't know what I was doing. They just made me kill the babies. And it starts with this wailing and crying. Whole release, These Palestinians are there, like, just holding space for them, just giving them, just allowing them to release their grief, at the atrocities they've been forced to commit, So Otherwise, they'd be called traitors and kicked out of the country or worse. That's it. That's it. That's it. There's probably enough Palestinians left that you could just get them over there, just doing that, just holding space as like all the murderers, the baby killers, like just like let go of their grief. Turn around to their children, like please.
Well, there's a difference between freedom fighters and
just really giving it the
patriots,
love.
isn't it?
Yeah, just really giving them
patriotism versus freedom fighting. Fighting for the freedom of you.
The waves of like the people to just hug and protect the Israelis, and then once they feel safe
I
enough,
like the walls of flesh idea.
Yeah,
like
we get the
works for me.
Palestinians to come over and
that
hold
level
space
of
while
bulletproofness.
They just like grieve.
It would be very important
and let go of like becoming how they all became baby killers, and then they can like heal that wound inside themselves. And
get over it. Know they're the victim. Know that they've been the victim the whole time.
Totally. They didn't want to do it. They had to. They were made to do it. They were made.
Stop
Other things
hating.
made them do it.
Learn to love thyself. That's where the healing begins. In the learning to forgive your own.
And they're not allowed to put it on anyone. Like when they try to say it was someone's fault,
it's been forgiven.
You can't like you just say
it's been forgiven.
It's
you
okay.
don't have to put it on anyone.
You don't have to blame.
You don't have to transfer the guilt. The guilt is gone. You admit it, and the guilt is gone. So that you don't need to transfer the guilt. You're going to be happy. You're going to love again. You're going to learn to love again.
Collective. Yes,
I know it's hard. All you've known is hate.
It's just how to like.
But we can teach you to love again.
Because it's the boot that
trusting love.
The boot that
you don't have to have a knife.
It needs to
or be pinpricking people at
protesting. Can you imagine? Like I actually think about like
pinpricking
mice now, and I think about my boot, and if I was standing on someone's face repeatedly, and how my leg would feel. It would feel disgusting. It would feel like sick inside my leg to do that. Right? I reckon like those soldiers, people need to hug them on the legs and just like try and like let go of like the blood and things that they've got on their boot from standing on people. You gotta like just let the leg relax. You gotta really help the leg. Just
wash away the sin.
The killing
by being the bigger person. That's right.
Being the bigger person.
Being the one who's
willing to absorb it. Some Israelis might need 5 or 6 people hugging them at once.
Could be.
Just
like mass huggings.
Mass huggings.
Yeah, mass huggings.
Like holding each leg.
And feel like you are enveloped in a meat protection.
Just holding them safely.
Like even if they've got some decent AP, like it's going to go through a couple of them, but it's not going to hurt you. You're going to feel safe. You're going to feel protected by this meat armor.
12.
Just right there.
12 Australians just wrapped around one Israeli, just keeping them safe.
Willing to give their lives to stop the violence, stop the killing of the children. Help you, help yourself. Help yourself. That's right.
Just help the blood wash away from each of those limbs. The healing ways.
We've got better ways of breaking down that pesky stain, all right, of blood, okay? We live in the future. We're in George Jetson land, okay? We have the technology and we can get that blood right out of the carpet and right off your hands.
It's the sort of thing. It's the sort of solution I reckon you could find millions of people for. Apparently it's a lovely place. And everyone talks about how it's a fucking resort. Why don't we just have the biggest rave in the world and just go there with millions of people to like start? You're not allowed to go to Gaza. You just go to Israel first, obviously, because they're the ones who need to be protected. So we protect them and just
then protect Israel the hell out of it, right? And then the excess and the overflow spill into Gaza to help formulate the transfer of the giant party across the new territory. The dancer, the American and the Israeli dancer to secure the new territory. And because there's always the victory dance.
Oh well, the victory dance.
When you take the new territory, there's always a victory dance. They always dance together, and who's got the prettiest feathers?
Taking a territory at all.
Who does the prettiest ruffling of the feathers, and then a little dance, and then they get the territory. All right, you do the best dance. It's all yours. Yeah, you're the greatest dancer. Come in, lay your eggs.
Yeah. I don't know. That's it. Save the Israelis.
Lay some eggs.
Yeah. And it's funnily enough, what it will do is it'll free the Palestinians from playing this role for the Israelis, because we will go in and just out-saturate
They can give up that role as the sufferers and become the, those who are relocated to other places that would help them with their suffering,
There's such suffering.
And that space would then just be available for the, expanded interests.
So through the healing, they would then just win anyway. That would be they would just get
win what was required.
Which was actually their humanity.
Getting back the decency and the gift.
I think that if you did see, what would actually happen is there would be no one going home anywhere. They would be like tearing down their own wall and going in there and and helping them and
getting the protection of those coming over. Waves of them.
Waves but the money, it's just a good economy. Like you go in there and just the hard thing would be
no more disruption to American streets. Israelis, they just go straight over there to the Middle East and then contribute. They get free plane flights organised to go and help be shields of love.
What if
the Israeli shield of love?
What if like the actual like the crucible, the annealing point of this? So as opposed to the fracturing, the annealing point, which we're sort of talking about, we're trying to describe, it's sort of actually they're healing, the Israelis are healing, which then so then the Palestinians don't have to attack them anymore because they're not being attacked.
Everyone's healing. That's right.
And then what you actually create, and the solution is no state solution, where there isn't two states or anything, and the boundaries around the world stop, and it actually causes this ripple effect out. You know, like instead of a war, instead of like World War III, it's actually the boundaries
come to the
of countries,
realization that we're world citizens.
And you can live anywhere.
We all live in this space, this realm together. We're world citizens. That's right.
And all the immigration just turns off and just goes fuck it. So that's actually the ripple effect that comes out of like the solving and the healing of Israelis, and that is the collapse of borders.
Everyone's got a place they can call their special place. Yeah,
I don't know. That's another thing. To have your own special place, that's another thing. Like I don't know. But if you're allowed to be anywhere, then you got to still probably deal with the money and paying for things and capitalism. And there's a whole lot of other systems at play, not just that the child murdering, psychopathy of modern Judaism. That just it seems unrealistic and
unnecessary.
And that needs
a little excessive,
healing.
if you ask my opinion.
Because they don't believe it themselves. Like that's the disconnect. That's the cognitive dissonance, is that they don't believe it themselves.
Crazy. What's it hyping up?
They send them to